Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome in the NBA Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, I got a fun one cooked up for you guys. I cooked up 5 trades that I believe could happen at this year's NBA trade deadline, which is about a couple of weeks away. But just going over the latest reports and rumors we've heard, I hopped in the lab and cooked up 5 trades that could all work out financially and that may happen before this February 8th NBA trade deadline. But guys, if you guys want the best NBA trade deadline coverage out there, hit that subscribe button. Myself, Marshall Green, Nick Roloff, whoever it is here at Chat Sports, we're going to keep you posted with the best coverage around the NBA trade deadline. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Help us out. Help us grow Chat Sports. Help us get higher numbers and get more subscribers than other competitors like ESPN, all those guys. So if you guys want the best NBA trade deadline coverage, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's dive into the 5 blockbuster trades I cooked up. I am self-producing today's video, so if I'm a little slower going graphic to graphic, do understand why. But the first trade I did cook up is the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks in this blockbuster trade, which sends Dejounte Murray to New York. So in this trade, it is the Knicks giving up Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, 2 of their protected first-round picks, and 1 of their unprotected first-round picks. And start off from the Hawks side of things, I actually really like this move. Getting a guy like Quentin Grimes, a young and up-and-coming kind of 3-and-D archetype type of player. He can really guard 1 through 3 very, very well. Did a number on Donovan Mitchell in last year's NBA playoffs. Evan Fournier in their 2-match salary, and honestly, the Hawks could use Fournier to go make another trade before the deadline. But they're getting 2 protected first-round picks and an unprotected first-round pick for Dejounte Murray, and for right reason. Dejounte Murray is an absolute stud. And looking at these numbers, you may be saying, well, 20 points a game, that's nothing to write home about. You got to keep this in mind. He is playing next to Trae Young, one of the most ball-dominant and just overall ball-centric point guards we have in the NBA, and he's still able to produce 21 points a game, 5 assists a night, 4.6 rebounds, and the efficiency from deep is what stands out to me the most about Murray's game this season. One of his best shooting years in the NBA since coming in, really took that step up in the overall catch and shoot 3-point ability, which you love to see. And I honestly think he would make a great fit with this New York Knicks team. In terms of what you would want next to a guy like Jalen Brunson at that 2 spot, you would want a more defensive-minded guard. Dejounte Murray is that. A guy who can also create off the bounce. He is that. And now that he's kind of upped his catch-and-shoot 3-point ability, Dejounte Murray makes a whole lot of sense. Pair him up with OJ Anunoby. That would be one of the most elite defensive kind of guard-wing combos we have in the NBA. And then also, keep this in mind, what if Mitchell Robinson comes back for the New York Knicks? I mean, if the Knicks pull off this move, and then maybe instead of Hartenstein, you have Mitchell Robinson in there at that center position, and if you get regular season Julius Randle to show up in the playoffs, man, that Knicks team, I would have them being able to compete with the Celtics and Bucks in the East. This would be a blockbuster move. It works out financially. I think it makes sense for both teams to kind of go about this move, and that's why if I had to pick one trade to go down, I think it's this one. I think it's Dejounte Murray heading to the New York Knicks. That's why I got on my first blockbuster trade we are talking about today. Number 2 for me is the Raptors and Lakers performance trade to get Bruce Brown to LA. If you guys don't know, Pascal Siakam just went to Indiana, which had Brucey going to the Toronto Raptors. But overall, why I think this trade makes sense for the Lakers and why they are giving up D'Angelo Russell, I think the Lakers need more physicality in the backcourt. I think both their guards and D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, they don't really add any sense of physicality. And we know in the NBA playoffs, the refs let the kind of plays kind of go out a little more. They're a little less on blowing the whistle. So you need more physical players. And I think a guy like Bruce Brown next to Bron, next to AD, could be a great complementary fit next to those two. I think it would make them one of the best kind of defensive teams in the league because obviously you get a point of attack defender, and obviously Bron will lock in on the defensive side of the floor in the playoffs. And obviously we do know what AD does on that side of the floor. So I like this trade for the Lakers. You're giving up D'Angelo Russell and an unprotected pick, but I do think it makes sense because if your closing lineup could possibly be Bruce Brown, Reeves, Bron, AD, then go Taurean Prince or Rui, whoever has a hot hand that night, I think it could make some sense for the Lakers to make that trade. And honestly, I think they could, possibly contend for an NBA championship. But speaking about an NBA championship, right now, who is your pick to win the NBA title? We were discussing this in the Chat Sports offices today. I'm probably still going the Nuggets, but my sleeper team, I think it's got to be the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. I really like what they're doing over there. So let me know, who is the favorite to win the NBA title as of right now? Blockbuster trade idea number 3 is the Warriors now making a move for Dejounte Murray. Listen, the Warriors, they are struggling this year. Right now, as I'm filming this video, they are 4 games below 500, so does it make sense for them to kind of go all in and use kind of the last 3 years of Steph Curry's prime and go get him some real talent next to him? Well, this is trade I cooked up. It was Moses Moody, Chris Paul, Corey Joseph, a first-round pick that's top 4 protected, and a 2028 second-round pick for also DeAndre Hunter. Keep this in mind, one of my favorite 3-and-D guys in the NBA, and then plus Dejounte Murray heading to the Bay Area. But overall, I do think the Warriors will make a move. Listen, I think the Warriors are a very smart team. Obviously, they have been. They kind of give me this sense of New England Patriots vibe to their dynasty, and I think they understand if we want to get the most out of a top 10 player of all time, kind of his last 3 years in Steph Curry, we got to go make a move, get some better players around him. And then if you can roll out realistically, Curry, Murray, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, have that be your small ball 5, I think that can win you a ton of games in the playoffs. But keep your eyes out for the Warriors to make a move. I thought it was going to be Siakam that they go out and try to get, but I guess they went in a different direction. But keep your eyes out for the Warriors making a move at the NBA trade deadline. But before we dive into the last 2 trade ideas, I do want to give a big-time shout-out to today's sponsor, and that is Factor. And if you guys head to factormeals.com/NBAchat50 and use promo code NBAchat50, you guys will get 50% off. Forget frantic lunch preps and rush dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are your secret weapon in the new year. Fuel up with fast, restaurant-quality meals, all delivered right to your door. Factor now offers loads of snack options like breakfast, smoothies, juices, snacks, and more to keep me going no matter what's on the schedule. Skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door. They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Need a special occasion meal? Gourmet Plus is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options done easily. Head to factormeals.com/NBAchat50. Use that promo code NBAchat50, and you guys will receive 50% off. Make sure you guys do get hooked up today. Link for that is in the comment section and description of today's show. So, another Dejounte Murray trade idea. Though all these are, I guess, 4 of the 5 trade ideas, or 3 of the 5 did have Dejounte Murray in them, just because I just think they're going to make a move, man. Or with Murray, I just think it's time for Atlanta to blow it up, and I think he is a very enticing option for teams kind of right on that kind of border of contending. But this trade, I got the Magic, and they can offer a really good haul. They can offer Markelle Fultz, a 2024 first-round pick that's top 10 protected, Denver's first-round pick, which is top 5 protected, and a 2026 first-round pick. So you kind of get to replace the guard in Fultz, and you're also getting draft capital, which the Hawks want. And, man, if the Magic could run out this big 3, it would be special. I love Banchero. I think Banchero kind of reminds me of a more skilled version than Julius Randle. If you get him a really dynamic guard in Murray, already paired up with Suggs and Cole Anthony, I think this would make a lot of sense for the Magic. Would it get them, truly contending in the Eastern Conference? Probably not, but I'll tell you what, it would get them a whole lot closer, and then it could really give them a solid big 3 to build around, and they could also use Dejounte Murray as a trade piece, in the future and use his matching salary there. But that's a trade idea. Number 4 is sending Murray to the Orlando Magic. Number 5 is another one for the Knicks that if they don't go out and get Murray, I think this one is the most likely one. And it's Malcolm Brogdon heading to New York for Evan Fournier and a first-round pick. The Knicks just straight up, I've watched a lot of Knicks basketball this year, and they, following the OG Anunoby trade, they just frankly need another ball handler. I love Jalen Brunson. I think he's still one of the more underrated players in the NBA. But the Knicks just need a secondary guy that kind of initiates some offense when Brunson isn't on the floor because, I love the role players, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. They're great kind of guys to help you on the margin. But can they initiate a offense? Can they consistently produce points when they're the ones running the offense? Not necessarily. But a guy like Brogdon, I think, would help out Brunson a lot, kind of allow him to maybe not play 40 minutes a night during these regular season games and maybe take it down to 35, but I had to throw the Knicks in there again because, I do think they're eventually going to consolidate some of these draft picks and go make a move. So keep your eyes out on the Knicks, whether it's Murray or Brogdon. Those are 2 guys that they have been, connected to. But I do want to close the show out with this. I was kind of debating this with some people in the office today. Top 5 players in the NBA. Let me know your top 5 down in the comment section. Quickly off the top of my head, I just still think it's Jokic gets the top nod at number 1. Number 2, I'm actually still going Steph Curry. Got to still give him his flowers. Number 3, I'm probably going Luka. 4, SGA. 5, got to go the reigning MVP. I'll go MB, but let me know your top 5 players down below.